努力做事，实在做人。大家好，欢迎大家来到麦琪地产说，我是西雅图房地产经纪人 Maggie。那 FHFA 在1月5号的时候呢，就宣布了一条新政，是说他们将会调整，也就是上调几种贷款的贷款费用。那其中呢，就包括像 High Balance Loan 就是高额贷款，以及Second Home Loan 就是第二套房贷款这两种贷款的费用。那我客户看到了这个消息以后呢，就也发了不少信息给我啊，说哎呀，这个 Maggie 现在是什么意思？这个房价也疯涨，然后呢，贷款利率也涨，然后现在连贷款的费用也要涨，这还让不让人火了？我觉得先不用恐慌。我今天呢也借这个机会邀请了Cross Country Mortgage 的资深贷款经理跟我们连线，来给我们讲一讲哈这条新政真正对我们普通买家的影响。那我们先说一下这条新政具体是什么哈。FHFA 呢其实是想调整像Fannie Mae 和 Freddie Mac 的其中的一部分贷款产品的贷款费用。那这项新政会影响到的呢，其实就是两种贷款，一种呢是叫 High Balance Loan。High Balance Loan 的额度呢是从65万到89万左右。那它实际上根据它的贷款的金额不同，它会上调0.25%到0.75%的贷款费用。那 Second Home Loan 呢，第二套房贷款也会根据它的贷款的金额不同，上调从1.125到3.875不等。这条新规呢也会从4月1号开始实施。那我现在就连线一下 Cross Country Mortgage 的资深贷款经理 Jeff 来跟我们讲一下这个 High Balance Loan 和 Second Home Loan 的定义，以及它对我们的影响。
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jeff, for being here today. And I have some clients asking me about the what this kind of news means to them.
Sure.
And, there's certain things that I'm not very sure about, so I'm sure that you're the expert and you can help us understand it better.
I'll give it my best. You bet. Thanks for having me on, by the way. I appreciate it. Cool.
Thank you. Okay, so I think maybe you could clarify some words for us first. Because in the news it says it only applies to the secondary homes.
Yeah.
What does secondary home means? Does it include investment properties or not?
All right, let's just cover the categories that we as lenders typically put into buckets. Okay, so we've got a primary residence, and that's easy to figure out, right? That means that you're going to live in that property. It's going to be a place that you're going to enjoy, and that's where you spend most of your time, right?
Yeah.
An investment property is intended to be exactly that. So you're buying this particular property as a way to create income. Okay, so your full intention is to buy it, not live in it, and rent it out to another entity or have some sort of income stream off of it. Okay, so that's investment property. And then the one that you're asking about, what's going to be affected by these this new pricing adjustment is called a second home. So the second home would be, I live in Seattle, but I'm going to buy another home in California, Arizona, and I'm not going to rent it out, but I'm going to visit it 3 times a year. So it's going to be for my sole use and my enjoyment. It is not going to have any sort of rental income coming in. So those are the 3 categories. So primary residence, investment property, and second home. Does that help?
Yeah, definitely. So it's like a vacation home that people use for just to visit. Got it. Okay, so what kind of a price adjustment that we're talking about here? Like, what do you think that will be adjusted at the end?
That's a great question, and there's too many variables to maybe like unpack for specifics. But let's talk about generalities. How's that?
Oh yeah, great.
So maybe even defining what this is a little bit. So this is defined as what's called a loan level pricing adjustment. That's our nomenclature in our world. Loan level pricing adjustment means it's a riskier loan. That's how a consumer would think about this. Okay. Let's say you have your primary residence in Washington. Okay. And you go and buy your second home in Arizona because you're cold in the winter here.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
What happens if something happens to your income? Somebody gets sick. The business falls off, or they get laid off. Which home are you going to likely, if it's worst case scenario, are you going to more than likely send back to the bank? Your primary residence with the family and everybody living in there, or the second home, right?
Yeah,
Probably
definitely.
the second home.
Yeah.
Right? So I know that's what I would do if I were in that situation. So that's a riskier proposition. What they're doing is they're saying, to compensate for that risk, we're going to add on some costs. Okay. And I want to share with you what is typical. Okay. So let's say that we add on 1% of the loan amount to the cost of the mortgage to compensate for the risk. Okay. So usually 1% of the loan amount equals 0.25% in rate. So if it increases by a point on cost, it should increase the rate by a quarter. Okay.
Got it.
Roughly. So 1%, quarter of a percent on the rate, 2% equals 0.5% on the rate. So, and this is all relative to the standard pricing of a primary residence with 20% down. Okay.
I see. So are you just using 2% as an example, or is it?
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Totally. Because one of our clients may come to us and say, I want to put 10% down to a second home. Well, that may have a higher than 1% adjustment, right? Versus I'm going to put 30% down to a second home,
right?
Which is a less risky loan, right? So maybe that only has a 0.25% adjustment or a 0.5%. Who knows, right? But it depends a lot on loan to value or down payment. It depends upon credit score, and it depends upon the property type as well. So condo versus single family.
And I read in the news that it also mentioned something that it would also apply to is it called a high balance loan, or?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is that?
So a high balance loan, if we Google Fannie Mae loan limits, right? That's part of what makes up a high balance loan. So in 2022, I'm looking on my cheat sheet over here. Okay. The Federal Housing Finance Agency, which is the entity that's putting these loan level pricing adjustments together, or FHFA, it's hard to say. They've announced that the maximum balance across the nation for a Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac loan is going to be $647,200, $647,200. Okay? If you go up above that, it's either going to be a jumbo or it's going to be a high balance loan, depending upon where you live. Now, where you and I live in the Seattle area, greater Seattle area, we're going to be looking at a maximum loan amount of $891,250.
Right.
So $891,250. Right. So anywhere between that $647,201 to $891,250 is going to be considered a high balance loan.
I see. But it's still under the 890 something, the conventional, the conforming loan limit, right? So it's still under that. That is the high balance loan. So anything over that, it will be a jumbo loan.
Correct. So $891,251 is a jumbo loan.
Right. Okay.
In our area.
I see. So and this new this new adjustment will only affect high balance loan. Will it also affect the jumbo loan?
So FHFA is only conforming loans.
Oh, I see. So it's only going to
That's what they control. That's what they direct.
Okay. Very interesting. Okay. So why do you think they are like? I kind of understand your philosophy there, because second homes are riskier loans, right, to the bank. And then, so I understand that part, but do you think, because I read some different versions of this news, right? And they were commenting on why they are having this new adjustment. It's also because that the government wants to kind of, because they're just, the real estate market is too crazy, and they want to kind of regulate it a little bit. And that's why they have this new adjustment. Do you think that's the case, or not really?
Don't know.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Think
So,
that would affect this
so
market
here's
a little bit?
what I do. Here's what I do know. So I've got gray hair for a reason, right?
Yeah.
A little bit. And I've seen some standards for a number of decades, right? I have not seen such a discrepancy between owner-occupied rates and non-owner-occupied rates until last year.
Mm.
Okay, I haven't seen discrepancies in second home rates like we're going to experience soon in decades. So since '97, right? So quite frankly, I can't tell if it's a money grab, if it's really a riskier thing, if there's an actuary somewhere that just said, you know what, we're losing money all over the place, and we got to charge more for these second homes that are going foreclosure.
It could be, yeah,
right?
With a lot.
So,
who
knows? But
I agree. I mean, it's really hard to tell. And then how many people are actually buying the second homes right now in this crazy market? That I think that's a bigger question.
Last year was insane.
Yeah. So do you have a lot of people right now, like in your files, like they are, what is the percentage of people that actually bought second homes last year?
I don't have a lot of people looking for second homes.
No. Okay.
Last year I had a few that did, right?
Yeah.
They were looking for a place to go for COVID and really realize a dream for some of these folks, right? They wanted a place to go, either like in the San Juans or Suncadia or these other places, and they wanted to create memories for families or whatnot. So there's a variety of reasons why people do this, but I don't know if it's any riskier than it was in 1997 or not.
Yeah, possibly not. I mean, I had some clients who reached out to me last year, same thing, and they were looking at somewhere, Lake Chelan or just east of Washington, not that even that far. And because there were so many people looking for it, and then I heard the price went up even higher, like it jumped, the percentage of the increase is even higher than some places down here, So that's just going too crazy. I think a lot of people just gave up on that dream pretty fast, just because of the inventory problem.
It was a struggle, even for, as you and I know. I mean, trying to get our clients in contract is super challenging, even when they're buying very competitively and well prepared. It's hard, right?
Well, since we are touching, basis on that point, I know that the interest rate jumped a little bit, right? In the past, right after the holidays, and it's kind of shocking for people, come back from the holiday with what I have to pay more. So is it, do you feel like this is going to keep going on, and how far do you think it will? I mean, I've seen some data, but I want to know, what do you think?
Let's break it down for our friends, because I can totally nerd out on this and bore you guys to tears, but there's 3 words you need to be aware of. Taper, T-A-P-E-R, taper, inflation, and employment. Taper means that the government is tapering their purchasing of mortgage-backed securities or mortgage bonds. That means there's fewer buyers for that product. So if demand falls, what happens to price?
It will go down.
Go down. Right?
Yeah.
And when the price of a bond goes down, what happens to the rate?
Goes up.
Right. Okay. So that's a factor that will adversely affect rates. Inflation is the arch enemy of a bond. So if people talk about inflation, like not people, but like the Fed talks about inflation, that will scurry people out of bonds. They will sell them. And so the price then goes what? Up or down?
Down.
Down. What happens then?
Goes up. Interest rate.
Go up. Okay. Employment. That means anytime there's good employment news, that's bad for the bonds. Okay. Bad for bonds equals what? Good or bad for rates? Bad for rates.
Bad for rates. It goes up.
So let's take a look. I'm going to share my screen. So you've probably seen these recordings from me about once a month.
On YouTube, yes.
Yeah. So this is our mortgage-backed securities market over the last quarter. Okay. Look where we were about 3 months ago. That rate, or that price of that bond, was 104.5. This is 102.5. That's 200 basis points of a drop. What did I mention? Every point, what would go up?
A quarter.
1 point would be a quarter.
Yeah.
Right. So that's 2 points, 200 basis points. So we're up about 0.5%.
Yeah, that's about right.
Genius.
Well, there should be some applause here. Well, Okay, so
no, it's just math. It's not that hard, but tying the data together is what we're doing here. So this is natural. It's not bad. Rates are still phenomenal, Maggie.
True.
We're just like crying because we didn't get another half a point on our rate. And
right, I agree with you.
It's so good. For the most of our clients that are out there looking, their budgets are not that tight that they can't absorb 0.5% into their home purchasing plans. And quite frankly, for those that fall out, all the better for those who are left because there are fewer buyers, because we've got an abundance of buyers, you and I, don't we?
Yeah.
Right? Our industry has an abundance of buyers. So
Right.
that's not necessarily a bad thing, right? So.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I didn't see any slowdown, at least for now, you know, half a point. I mean, it's nothing. It seems like it's nothing. Well, what it did probably is trigger more buyers to be even, to even
Right.
want to, you know, do something right now.
Hurry up, right.
Oh, yeah, hurry up before it goes up again. Yes,
Yeah.
that's the philosophy there. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time today. I know Jeff has been in this industry forever, and you have your own YouTube channel. How would people find you on YouTube?
So it's McGinnis, McGinnis, Jeff McGinnis, and just Google me. I've got you should be able to find me on a few channels, but if nothing else, just reach out to me and I'll help you out and answer any questions you might have.
Yeah, and you know they could just ask me, and I can share your contact info, and then also we will put your YouTube channel link in our description so people can find you, right? So they can ask you questions.
Thanks, Maggie.
Right, thank you, Jeff. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you soon.
Okay, take care.
Okay, bye.
非常感谢 Jeff 花这么多时间给我们讲解这条新政的具体的定义，然后还有它的影响，也解答了我心中的很多疑惑哈。那首先呢，就是 second home loan 并不包括投资房产的贷款，所以说大家也不用恐慌，说我买投资房是不是立刻会受到影响？其实不是的但是呢，咱们也不能幸灾乐祸，因为所谓 second home loan 其实本身它的贷款利率还有它的贷款费用就本身就比投资房的利率和贷款费用要低了。这个因为在银行眼里，second home loan 第二套房贷款是一个风险比较高的投资，但是呢，投资房产是一个风险更高的投资，所以说小朋友们也没有说真正占到便宜，只能说我觉得 FHFA 针对第二套房贷款的这个费用调整其实是非常合理的。为什么这么说呢？其实去年也有不少客户有联系过我说有想法，因为 COVID 的这个很多地方都不能去，也想在一些山清水秀著名景点来一个什么第二套房比如说这个小乡村度假屋，作为自己家人可以经常去度假的这么一个选择。刚才 Jeff 也在这个连线的时候说其实去年是有很多人联系他，但是真正做成的人其实并不多。为什么呢？也是因为那些远郊区县的房价也是被这些人拱到非常高的地步，到最后大家一个是没有房子可买，一个呢就是已经价格太高了，于是就放弃了这个计划。所以说我觉得这个新政呢也会一定比例的降低这样的人的这个购买热情，因为如果在低收入的这个地区，他们那儿的人不像 BRK 这边的人能挣这么多钱，那如果低收入地区的房价太高了的话，那会引起很多的社会问题，还有贫富分化的矛盾。所以说我觉得这条新政可以从一定的层面降低这样的一个这个度假屋的购买的比例。当然了，如果说您还有这样的想法想去购买一个度假屋，在4月份之前您可以把它买入，还是一个比较好的选择。那有客户也问过我说如果要是我现在想换房，比如说我现在住在一个 Seattle townhouse 里面，然后呢我想换到东区一个大一点的房子，那我现在要换的这套房子是不是属于我的 second home？ 听上去挺像的，这点可能我想在这儿澄清一下这个概念。那美国这边呢普遍是这样认为的，就是说如果我现在住的这个 townhouse 是一个 primary residence， 然后呢我想换到一个更大的房子，那我搬到那里以后呢，那里就是变成了我的 primary residence。 那我原来的这套房子呢，那我是出租也好或者留着也好，它也就不再是我的 primary residence， 也就是不是我住的地方，但是它不会立刻变成一个投资房，或者说变成一个 second home， 并不是这样的。那我们这里说的 second home 呢，完全指的就是度假屋，也就是说您有您自己的住所，然后呢您再去买一个度假的地方，那个叫 second home。 所以说如果想换房的小朋友们，除非您是这个 high balance loan 正好是在这个65万到89万的这个贷款的区间里面，否则的话是不受这个新政影响的。 那第二呢，所谓这个 high balance loan 的调整，实际上真正是会影响到我们这些西雅图东区的这些买家的可能性是比较小的，因为大部分的买家，如果您是想在 BRK 或者甚至是伊萨款或者 Bothell 买房，基本上想买一个独栋的话，都要上100万。那上100万的话，您的贷款的金额就很有可能会超过89万，也就是会成为一个 jumbo loan， 而不是一个 high balance loan 了。它的这种贷款费用的调整会影响一些买家，从一定程度上吧，就是保护一下这个低收入人群的利益，还有他们的贷款的可能性。那像高收入人群，真正说 jumbo loan 的这群人的话，其实是不受这条新规的影响的。还有一点呢，就是这条新规实际上只是针对像这个 high balance loan 和 second home loan，如果说您的收入是在整个城市的平均收入以下的，比如说像西雅图地区，2015年到2019年家庭的平均收入是9万2千多美金，如果说您挣的这个钱还不到这个10万美金这个水平，那您第一套房产不管是不是 high balance loan 都不会被这条新规所影响，这个其实还是对低收入人群的一个保障。当然了，在西雅图地区，大部分的这个码农同学们的收入已经远远超过了这个数字。如果您是在 high balance loan 的这65万到89万的这个区间里，那您贷款还是会被这条新规所影响的。那整个现在西雅图东区的这个抢房的环境，实际上我认为啊，这条新规并不是说真正是针对整个像 BRK 这个地区的房产降温，那这条新规是远远不够的。其实很多买家问我说，那这个什么时候是个头啊，是吧？这个觉得好像看不到希望。其实还是像我在之前 video 里面提到的，真正想要看到一个房地产市场在我们这个区域的一个改变，可能呢就是我们第一呢是需要有更多的房子涌入市场，然后第二呢就是如果要是经济没有这么好强劲的势头了，股市大跌，那这个时候我相信一定会影响很多买家的购买力。当然了，这并不是什么好事儿。如果说您还是在考虑想要利用现在市场的这个环境，给自己的投资房或者给自己的自住房卖到一个非常高的价格，现在依然是一个很好的时机。那今天呢也讲了很多关于 FHFA 的这条新政的定义，还有对我们的影响。如果您觉得这个视频对您有用的话，也帮我在下方点个赞。如果您对房地产买卖有任何的问题，也欢迎您加我的微信私聊。也希望您继续关注 Maggie 姐的 YouTube 频道，获取更多的西雅图房产投资信息。我们下期再见啦！